Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. Mo and Mel here, West Coast Wednesdays. We appreciate you tuning in. We do have some guests coming on in the second part of the show, more towards 7:30, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's the day after a tough loss for the Aces. We'll be talking about that. We'll get into a little NFL news, the injuries continue to pour in. And we had our first weekend of football. So preseason has started. Football is upon us. And we'll get into that some more.
Got fights going on.
Fights everywhere. First I gotta get into this blind side thing that's been going off. So
yeah,
I know
what's
you've
the
read
real
up.
thing on that? What's the whole deal with that?
So of course we know the movie Blind Side. Sandra Bullock was in it, and it was based off of the real life story. Based, I put loosely, off of the real life story of Michael Orr and the Tui family that basically supposedly adopted him. Well, news broke out. Like, what was it, yesterday? I think the news broke out that he was suing them. He had a whole petition because he said that they didn't adopt him, that they put him in a conservatorship back in 2004 when he first basically started living with them. And then that he didn't get no money from the movie, that they've been keeping the money from him, that he didn't find out about the conservatorship until February of this year. We're in 2023, and supposedly the conservatorship was filed in 2004. So 19 years later, he finds out he's in this. That was just hard for me as an adult. You're not, I mean, for how many years you don't realize.
So how did he notice? Because a part of that conservatorship, they get all his money. They get part of his money, his image, likeness, any kind of deals he has. They get a percentage.
Right.
Of, right.
So how do you not notice that when you're in the NFL beyond college? Like, now you're in the NFL. He did what, I think 6 years or something in the NFL before retiring, and you're not realizing, like, even like you're getting endorsements or deal. I don't know. It just seemed a little off, although I'm not going to lie. I mean, who knows what could have happened. So I read a little bit more into this. There was a big article that came out today because today the Tui family came out saying that he's been trying to shake them down a few times for money. And that usually the attorneys that he's using will be like, tell him, stop, this isn't going to work. You don't have the evidence. Well, apparently, from what they say, is that he's found an attorney that's willing to take this forward to file that petition. There was a bit that his adopted brother or conservative brother, the Tui's son, I think his name is SJ or something, he had mentioned, and he said that he went through some family group texts that they shared, and that from like in 2020, 2021, he had mentioned, like, I want $15 million, or I'm gonna make all this go public. Or I want this much money. He didn't mention specific amounts, but he was basically asking for money or he would have things go public. Also in the article was that, the Tui's had a book of their own. They had a book in 2010 where they didn't reference adoption. They had referenced adoption like 30 times in the book, but they never mentioned a conservatorship, right? So that was one thing that was seemingly odd, that if it is a conservatorship, why did you mention it as always an adoption in your book? Well, apparently, Michael had a book in 2011 where he mentioned that when he was 18, the Tui's came to him and said that they were doing a legal conservator. They were going to become his legal conservators, telling him that basically it's the same thing as being your adoptive parents, because at 18, they felt that you can't really adopt at 18 because technically you're an adult now in the state. Although some people said that you still could adopt, it would just be a different kind of process, which still can't be done. Either which way, it went through. His biological mom was there and signed off on it and everything. Then it gets to the money. So apparently nobody really made money from the actual movie. They're getting money for deals on like their story and like the kickbacks, like I guess some percentages after the fact. They think that maybe the Tui said they got about $500,000, which they split 5 ways between both parents, both biological children and Michael. and that Michael never, I guess, accepted the money or didn't get the checks. It was just, there's just too far out stories, and I feel like the actual real story is buried somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's odd. I don't see how a grown man at his age could not realize he's still under a conservatorship at this point, 19 years later. Especially if it's mentioned in your book and it's mentioned, you mentioned it in your book. How are you saying you just found out? You just found out that it's still valid? Are you still finding out that it still holds something? Like, what are you still finding out? That's what I don't get. How are you just finding out? It's in your book. You wrote a book 13 years ago or 12 years ago. I don't know. What's up, Maurice? Sketchy. It does sound a little sketchy. I do feel like maybe he is missing some money, or maybe he's lost money and he's looking for another way for some more money. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But on the news I saw, or I think it was on one of the sports broadcasts earlier today, they mentioned that like the Tuohys don't need the money. Like the wife, I think either her or husband owned a business. They sold it for like $200 million. They're like, we're not worried about the $500,000 or whatever the kickbacks are. They could have paid that. Well, now the news comes out today that they're like, they have never been against canceling or I don't know what you would call it, ending the conservatorship, that they're fine with it and they're willing to do it. So I don't know. It's just, I don't get it. Don't get it.
So they're trying to take Sandra Bullock's Oscar too. Fans are telling her.
I don't see how that
Oscar
for what.
Because she played the woman, and it's
like, but she wasn't part of this. Like, it wasn't like she conspired with the family.
I'm just reporting what the story was. I mean, to Maurice's point, it does sound a little. I don't know. Like this whole thing is wild. Like, you just put me in a tailspin telling the whole story. Like, I'm still confused. I still don't know which way is up. I don't know which way is up. All I know is now fans are coming for Sandra Bullock and telling her she needs to relinquish her Oscar.
The only thing that made sense to me was the father, Mr. Tuohy. He actually was a graduate and played at Ole Miss. And so I understand the part that in order for Michael to come into their home and if he really wanted to play for Ole Miss, that he'd have to be part of their family, because technically the father is seen as like a, what do you call the alumni that have money and give back,
like the
boosters, that he was basically seen as a booster. So if because they've already been giving him gifts and have a home and giving him, whatever they were giving him, that would be considered against the NCAA policies if he wasn't a member of their family. If he was just otherwise it would look like they were trying to conspire to, work with a recruit to get to the school. So he had to become a part of their family for some reason, whether it be through adoption or conservatorship, so that the NCAA didn't take a fault to him being at Ole Miss. And thus is the blind side by the blind side, blindsided by blind side. Like,
yeah.
Who would have thought this was coming? I mean, that was a great movie. I thought it was a great story. So
I don't know which way is up.
It's just too much.
I mean, I have a whole other thing I could say about this, and just
say it. What else you got?
No, I'm not. Move on to the next thing.
Why?
Nah, it's cool. Which way is up is, like I said,
it's an open discussion, Mo. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but I really don't. It's just weird. The whole thing is just weird, and I just feel like, I don't know. They didn't adopt this man. They did a Britney Spears on him. He's needing money. It sounds like he's hard up. Like, all of a sudden you checking for assets that you don't have, and you don't know where the money went, and now you're having these discovery moments and aha moments. And at 18, you mean to tell me none of y'all, you didn't know? Mama didn't know? Like, I don't know.
But your bio mom was there and signed the paperwork. She had to be legally. But that's what I'm saying.
She didn't say anything and disclose to him if that's what it actually was, or did she not understand the language that was given? And who was the original attorney who set up that paperwork for them to do that? Like, I have so many questions, and that's why I said I don't even know which way is up. This thing is crazy.
I get
I don't know
it.
what the
And that
resolution is to it. I don't know what is going to be the end game to this whole saga. So now you need to do Blind Side 2, the blindsidedness of it all.
blindsided by the blind side.
Blindsided by the blind side. Like I'm sure it's gonna be some Netflix kind of thing, like Johnny Manziel's story. I feel like it's coming, but I just need more context to it. It's just a very whatever. I don't know.
I definitely need more context to it. I just
I don't know. It's crazy.
it's wild. So yeah, well, guess we'll all be staying tuned to see how the trial and whatever else unfolds until
Is it going to
something.
trial?
Well, I mean, right now, I mean, it's not like they're not going to. They don't think they owe him money, and he thinks they owe him a lot of money. They're willing to cancel the conservators. They have no problem with that, but so I don't know.
They willing to cancel because they ain't got no money. They just spend all the money too.
I think they have money, like family money. Don't think they're worried about necessarily. I don't know. That's from what I read is that, you know, they were well off before he came into the picture.
So if they were well off before, then why get money off of him?
Well, I think because it was I don't know. I think they felt that they needed to be whether adoption or conservators for that so that he could be able to go to Ole Miss without having any issues with the NCAA policies about them him living
Exactly.
with
So
them.
anything else as far as stipends and monies and anything.
Right. Well, I think the money itself is just because I believe
I mean, why
is
take
that
the money if they come for
I
money? That's
believe
what I'm saying. Like, I get the
right. No, I
conservatorship.
think because if it was a conservatorship, that the checks whatever they got from the movie had to come to them and they dispersed it. They said they've dispersed it. He said he's never gotten anything, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just
He probably didn't, and I feel like maybe they finessed him, and that's what happens when you let them get into your space. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't know which way is up on this, and it's kind of crazy.
It's a lot,
and I just I'm not surprised, but it's kind of almost like, did you not know initially? Did Mama not know? Did they not give context to the situation? Yeah.
yeah.
Read your
Yeah.
Everybody try to learn what that is. I don't think people really knew what a conservatorship was until Britney Spears had her situation with her dad. I think that's when people were really not knowing that was something that really
they're
existed.
hip to the game, and so
usually that happens. People do those when they have elderly people in their lives, the children of elders that are not capable of handling their affairs, or they're kind of too old to make cognizant decisions, that kind of thing. They lose certain things of their life, and so you have that set up. But you got at least they do this to young folks. I mean, parents are doing this to their kids. Like I don't know, it's crazy. But the fact that you want Sandra Bullock to get her Oscar, she was just doing
that's
her job.
wild. Like come on.
Like these fans are funny. We didn't even put that out there. Like you need to give that up because the story was
like
misleading. The story misleading. There was no adoption. I mean, granted. I mean, if he wanted to, he can't sue Hollywood because he thought he was adopted too. Like I don't know. It's a mess.
Oh, Maurice makes a good point. Wasn't he in the league when the movie came out? I think he was in the league when the movie came out.
Yeah, he was, because it was a future. Yeah.
Which may also mean that maybe he was getting. Well, see, that's the thing is if he's getting paid by the NFL, were all his checks going through them too?
Well, that's
or
what I'm saying. If it's a conservatorship, it probably was. That's what I'm saying. Why would they take his money? Is my question.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, is he trying to say that he didn't get paid from the NFL? Like, I think this would have been an earlier issue, not just 2023, if he wasn't getting his NFL checks.
I feel like he got his checks, but maybe he didn't get all of his checks. Maybe he only got a percentage of his checks. Maybe it was allocated some of it to them. I don't know. Like I said, it's got to be a Netflix documentary if we want to dig deep in it.
It's gonna be like an HBO one. It's gonna be a Max. It's gonna be like
honestly,
30 for 30.
I'm not that invested to see like what happened because I really don't care, because I feel like you got duped and it's just an unfortunate situation. Like I really don't care to know, but
I'm just like, you brought it to our attention.
Like
yeah,
more details would be involved in this story, because again, there's just no context to it. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make a lot of any sense. And it just got more confusing.
I keep saying it's like the movie Which Way Is Up with Richard Pryor. I don't know which way is up. Like, you mean to tell me you just now figuring this out? I feel like funds is low on his end, and now he's digging deep into his stuff. Really, it's just like when celebrities get finessed by their business managers or their accountants, and they got to pay taxes and all this other stuff that you don't pay attention
All
to.
that. They forget about all them extra funds they gotta
Yeah, like.
do. Because we're used to living in a state that's tax free. We don't have to pay state taxes. But imagine getting your income and having to pay not only federal taxes but state income taxes on top of that. Your take home is like a half of what you're getting. It's crazy. I don't know.
I don't get it.
On to the next subject, hot topic. Messi is out here causing a Miami melee mania. The Messi mania has hit Miami. This guy is like it's almost like he single-handedly has changed the soccer team there in Miami. They said he's scored 9 goals in 6 games. First of all, the team itself scored, I think, like 22 goals over 21 games before he got there. Since he's got there, they've had 20 goals in 6 games.
Because he's playing amongst amateurs. This is a whole high level player. Like, what are we not
They've
surprised?
already, I guess yesterday's game, he hit a goal 30 yards away, which is super deep in soccer. Goalie didn't stand a chance. And I guess they won, so they basically are into the CONCACAF.
That just tells you the
tournament
amateur
next year.
skill set that the Americans have versus those that play internationally.
Yeah. Well, he's Messi too. I mean, it's like taking LeBron and putting him anywhere else.
You got one of the best players in the league out there that can kick and do everything.
Wild. Hey,
Yeah,
so I don't know if you caught the new Hard Knocks, but it didn't disappoint this week either.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. It's on my queue to watch it. I just didn't have the time to watch it. Or Winning Time. I need to get back into that too. I didn't even watch the second episode of that.
I caught Winning Time too. Yeah. So I just want to share a clip about a minute long, but I don't know if you remember when the mentalist guy went to the Seahawks facility. There wasn't a Hard Knocks, but he went in there and he basically was able to guess DK Metcalf's phone password, and DK was like, "What the heck? What is this?" Well, I think it's the same guy that came to the Jets facility. So hang on. Here you go.
Aaron, what I want you to do, I want you to hold the cards up, and I want you to look through those cards. I want you to look through and just think of any one of those cards you see. Ice cold, under pressure. I like what I'm seeing. Hold them, put them in your hands, and then put your other hand on top, kind of like twist it, like a pancake, so we can't see anything. Can't get to them, nothing. All right? Fair? Think red, black. Think hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. See that reaction, that flinch? I know which way you're throwing the ball. It's a diamond, am I right? Yeah. I'm going to do you one better than guess it. I'm going to find it. Hold your hands tight. Don't take it out. Don't move. Let me reach in just a little. I'm going to go there. 22 down. I'm going to go down. Tell us all, out of that whole deck, don't move, what card you think of. Say it.
3 of diamonds.
3 of diamonds. Well, hold on. Tell us, what'd you think of?
That was a goldfish.
A goldfish?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
I got you. Look in your hands, Aaron.
Wait, bro, hold on. What if you would have picked a giraffe, though?
Did you see he had a deck of cards? Next thing you know, it's a fish in there. And the guy said, "What happens if you would have picked a giraffe? Like, what happens if the animal I picked was a giraffe? You're gonna have."
So they basically doing magic tricks on the doggone.
It's like magic with the mental. Yeah, they do it during, like, I've seen it in a few different Hard Knocks, but this one was trippy. Like, the guy was able to pick, one of the Nicole Hardman, I think, guessed that, was in his head thinking like, okay, us versus the Niners, score 31-21, and he already had it pre-written down and on a drawing board behind him.
So I basically had a magician come to my job the other day and do the same trick to me. Basically, he shuffled some cards, one of them face down. He was like, think of a card in your head, and the one that's face down in the deck is going to be the card that you chose. And it was right twice. What is going on?
Man,
I had the same magic tricks. I had magic tricks presented upon me, and I did not know how he did it. And there's like, he's a magician.
And half of them are like this meant like they're reading your mind almost. It's like I had one done at the steakhouse there at the Win. This guy comes around the tables and he was able to guess my dog's name. Like not many people have dogs named Shug, and he was able to have it already on a card written, and he gave it to me, which was
Yeah,
wild.
I don't need people in my head that deep. That is crazy to me. Like, how do you know?
Listen, it's a
And
wild.
to your point,
So, anyways,
I'm wondering, well, if you thought of a giraffe with a giraffe, where would the giraffe be?
would it have been like a toy giraffe? I don't know. I had to have been.
Yeah, like I don't know.
That's just, I guess, because he knew he was gonna pick gold. I mean, that's just crazy. It's just wild. So yeah, make sure you check out the Hard Knocks. It definitely it definitely, I still again have low expectations, so it was great to see. It was another great week and episode. But one other thing I want to mention before I see our guests are here, I want to mention before we pop them on, you won't believe the new show that's coming out, or a new documentary series that's coming on HBO. Do you remember the Bishop Sycamore team? This was that fake football team that made news when they had like crazy.
The catfish team.
Yes.
It wasn't a real team. Oh,
it wasn't a whole team. So there is going to be a new documentary coming out on August 23rd on HBO called BS High School, which is the story and an interview. Like it has the coach on there. He basically says that I'm a great
BS too. It really was some BS. Oh my
God.
God.
I am definitely set to be watching.
Yeah, I've definitely got to watch that one. Talking about magic, he totally finessed and pulled the wheel.
He finessed everybody. You know, it's sad is that they have some of the kids on there like, man, he sold us a dream, because these kids think they're going to like, you know, D1,
in a real school,
4 or 5 star school.
No real team.
The school didn't have teachers. They didn't have teachers. They didn't have training. They didn't have nothing.
They didn't have nothing. Poor things. I'd be suing them, honestly. Now that's somebody you need to go after.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like because he mentioned that, well, you know, to do anything illegal, am I in jail? And obviously he's not.
No, and that's the thing. Nothing. He just basically lied and finessed. It was just a catfish team.
It's wild. It's wild. Hey, so without further ado, people, I want to be able to bring on our guests from Nevada Now, Miss Sue Burge, as well as Jeri Burton. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies. Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear us both?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you both. Yes, good. We passed.
Welcome,
all right.
Yay.
So we're definitely wanting to have you on here. There's a big event that we'll talk about shortly, but I wanted either one of you to kind of give the listeners kind of an understanding of what Nevada Now is, what the National Organization for Women is about, and what you guys do here in Nevada for that organization.
Well, I can start with that if you'd like. So Sue and I are the co-executive directors of the Nevada chapter of National Organization for Women. We've been around 50 some years. They started originally. They sat around, but a bunch of different women had been to an event and they were not paying any attention to the women, and they decided to start an organization that was strictly to help get pay equity and equal rights amendment and all those things back in the in the day. And there now are chapters all over the country. We've worked on we have 6 core issues that we work on, and so chapters are pretty much able to work on what is specific to your area. We've done a lot with the state equal rights amendment and working on reproductive rights right now. So and we're hearing from a lot of young people with the Barbie movie. They're like, we're feminists, and we're like, come join us. We're a feminist.
Join the group, join the crowd.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I was just going to say the quick 6 core issues, just so people are listening, they can see what we work on.
Constitutional equality, reproductive rights and justice, economic justice, racial justice, LGBTQIA plus rights, and ending violence against all women.
But
everything that we love, everything that we will stand for.
Equality for all, basically.
Yes. And I love it. And I love your guys' organization. And we want to talk a little bit about just kind of what you have coming up next Saturday. You've got a celebration as well as a fundraising event for Women's Equality Day. Kind of give us an understanding of what people can expect, if they can still buy tickets or attend or donate, those kind of things.
You want to take that one, Sue?
Absolutely. This is our fundraiser for our political action committee which I am the treasurer of. We endorse candidates that are good with our 6 core issues. Candidates in the state and local elections, city municipalities. In 2022, we endorsed judicial candidates for the very first time. We've had the PAC since 2019 and have gone through 2 election cycles. We've got about an average of an 82% success rate with our candidates. In 2022, yeah, that's us. In 2022, we were very ambitious with our endorsements. Endorsed 51 candidates, like I said, including judicial, and we had an 84% success rate. Yeah, this is pretty big for us. We do interview our candidates and vet them as well as we can. And it's 2024 is not going to be an easy year. 2022 wasn't an easy year, but we managed to get out the vote. We were fortunate we had the Equal Rights Amendment on our ballot as ballot question 1. So we really got out there. I think we did like 40 events in 51 days, including I think 3 or 4 parades. I don't know. It's all
Wow.
a blur at this point.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were everywhere, and people kept going, my goodness, you're everywhere. But yeah, so we're pretty excited about the PAC, and this is we wanted to get the ball rolling early for 2024, so we can have some money to support what we think are going to be some really good candidates here in the state of Nevada. So
very good.
That's great. That's
so
amazing.
You also are going to be our MCs. So
our MCs,
Yes.
we're excited about that.
Yes, so Mo and I will be there
emceeing
the function and having a great time. Are people still able to buy tickets for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jeri shared the link for tickets, but you can go to our website and it's all there too on nevadanow.org. Tickets are very much available. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We've got a DJ. We've got Mo and Mel.
Shout out to the DJ T over here. We can't wait to have her there. And
we've had her before. She's excellent. And we've got some great raffle prizes. I think I sent you a picture of a couple of baskets.
I've got the raffle. These are a couple of the baskets, for example. They've got an Aces basket as well as a UNLV basket.
UNLV Lady Rebels basket to be
yes.
Yes, we have.
Thank you.
We're making it our mission to bring attention to women in sports. And try to help uplift the mission to get pay equity. We've got an Aces basket that has their championship T-shirt in it, a cap, and probably just about every giveaway they've had this season so far. Plus, we have a very special friend, a new friend at Rock My Bangles that made an Aces beaded bracelet that's in that basket.
Very nice.
Very cool. Yeah, very, very cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then the UNLV Lady Rebels basket. We had a blast going to the games. You can get a season ticket for next to nothing, and I encourage everyone to support the Lady Rebels.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're back-to-back champions in Mountain West. That basket has 2 championship T-shirts, one noting that they're back-to-back champions. It will also have a Lady Rebels beaded bracelet in it. And then one of my new favorite books, 37 Words. It's the history of Title IX.
Those. Very nice. Oh, that's awesome.
The documentary that was on ESPN, a 4-part documentary was based on that book, and it'll tell you everything and anything you want to know about Title IX and the journey it's been on and still is.
Well, and they have the Title IX here too. They've had the second annual was this year. I attended the first one, which was amazing. Got to meet Billie Jean King, who of course, is like the godmother of Title IX. So
she was out there.
Yeah.
I'll
Amazing
plus
stuff.
one next time when you're invited.
For sure.
But also, Lindy LaRock from the Lady Rebels basketball coach is coming to speak at the event.
Oh, very nice.
It's kind of how we got started with them. I never was a sports person like you are. And we saw that the Lady Rebels were not getting the attention. They weren't on the front page. Like they're winning and they're on the page 3. So a few of us decided to start to go to the games, to start tweeting about it. And pretty soon, I don't know if we did it or not, but they were on the front page. And so then we started having so much fun at these games, and we started going to the Aces games, and now we go all the time. And it's been a good way. Oh, so I sent that to you. Yeah.
And you guys were there at the championship parade too.
We shut down the strip. The strip.
And that green sign, when you watch like videos, you'll see it. We're always watching for it. There's our sign.
I love it.
See where the lime green sign is? That's where we're standing. But they had only shut down one side of the strip. And so proud of the town because so many people showed up. They had to close down both sides.
Yeah, they did. It was a good look. Fun. It really was.
It really was a good time. It was a good time, and it was great. It's great. You know, everybody has their story on how they became a fan of sports. And even in women's sports, like I've always been a sports fan, but it took me a while to get into the WNBA, even though I had a team from back home. But everybody has their story, and it's great to hear your story, Jeri, as well, and Sue, and to figure out like how you guys got. But you guys are like rocks. We were at the watch party together, like these ladies. And I usually don't go to watch party just because I'm like, I'll watch it at home. But they were like watch party. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So and shout out to our girl Sarah out there as well, because I know she helped handle that. But it's great that to have other women that are really supportive of the women here in sports, and of course you guys and what you do, and to try and helping with women's rights and equality and equal pay and all that is fantastic. So we applaud that.
As you learn the pay disparity between what men and women get, it's fun activism, and it's good like team building for us to everybody go out and do it. So
that's great.
I'm really kind of disappointed in some of the retailers in town because I don't see my Lady Aces or my Lady Rebels in the stores, and
I'm mad at the retailers online because most of the Aces gear is all men's stuff. Like it's a women's team, women's support. Why are all these men cut shirts on here, or men? Right. They have like maybe 2 women's cuts, or they're all crop tops, which. I mean, not everybody wears a crop top, so if you could make like a women's shirt,
I'm a little too old to be wearing a crop top. That's something.
I think we're gonna have to get you in a crop top for the show.
You have to rock a crop top. And that's what I was gonna say. Maybe a good action is for people when they go to a sports store to ask for, where's the Aces gear, where's the Lady Rebels gear, because. You go through the Mandalay Bay, and we go over to Hassan's to have food before the game.
Yeah, Dick's and Nike down at Forum Shops or in Summerlin, the only 2 places I could ever see Aces things.
Really?
And even with Dick's Sporting Goods, it's older pieces. It's not anything current. It's just not refreshed. It's
Dick's is one of the good ones, though, so we should remind them maybe to get a better selection, but at least it's there. So
maybe they sold out because it's so popular already. You never know.
We'll go with that.
At the practice, I feel like the retail shop. There should be a retail shop at the practice facility.
There is a retail shop, but I don't know if it's open yet to purchase things. I do know that the item of the game yesterday was those shorts that were like the one that Buckets has been wearing last. They're beautiful. They're like super cool shorts. They were the item of the game. I left early before halftime to go see if they still had any left. They had none left.
Wow.
I went online this morning to get a pair because I figured, they're online. They had only double XL left.
Of course.
Wow.
I'm just like,
it was the same situation. And, I mentioned that in our basket, it's 2 Lady Rebels t-shirts. I did not get those from the UNLV online store. It was on a different website. And, again, in retailers, you see a lot of UNLV gear, but I don't see anything.
Right.
When you're talking back to back champions of the Mountain West, come on.
Yeah, the men's
Yeah.
team. So,
Yeah, it's
So I
crazy.
think
They
it's
have the men's football all day out there, and they're not even winners like
They're not
the
doing
basketball
nothing.
team are.
we got to change the culture. Got to change
Yeah,
the mindset. So
well,
yeah.
Absolutely.
funny, Mel. I come from, maybe I mentioned it to you, but I come from a football family from Las Vegas. My uncles were coaches. Last name was Barnson, and the field at UNLV is named after my uncle, and my uncle Larry.
Wow.
Clark High School football
Okay.
is named after him. But I never really paid attention, and it's always been men's sports, So it's, for me, people are like, "What is going on with you?" It's like, it's I have people who are like serious activists are like, "Okay, we're losing you." Like, no, this is activism. We're bringing attention to women, and
You're like, this is what's getting me going. Like, this is it.
important. And then we've talked about, like, going and finding some like high school basketball girls games to go to. One of our members has a daughter who plays, and
Yeah.
we have a really good time doing it. And I think it's important, also. So
Yeah.
It's great. It really is. And it's great, like I said, it's great that anybody can know that at any time. Like, I think I told on the last show, I was like, if you haven't gone to an Aces game, there's going to be 5 home games here this week. Pick one and go to it. I think that's what needs to be done. It's like, we talk about equal pay or having like getting higher pay, but if people aren't filling the stands, if people aren't buying the merchandise, if people aren't supporting the team, then it's hard to do that.
Right.
and and people are going, and it's fun, and like I say, all of us go now. All the ward goes, and bring my grandsons. I mean, they even have a good time, So it's a good time. It's fun.
Since you are on, before we let you go, because I know that you guys are Aces fans and we're talking about women in sports, and I know Jeri, I don't know if Sue, if you were there. I know Jeri, you were at the game last night. So was I. Sue, you were there. So give us your thoughts on not only the Aces losing, but what it's going to take for them to try and turn it around for tomorrow's game back up against the Liberty again.
Well, Sue knows how upset
yeah.
I get.
Yeah.
I'm very invested in them winning. So last night was very difficult for us.
I can't sit next to Jeri in a game, because if the point difference is less than 10 points,
20, yeah.
does the arm grab. There were a lot of opportunities, a lot of missed shots last night, to go. What was it, like 3.5 minutes with no score at all from either team?
Neither side scored for 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes. I clocked it.
Wow.
3.5 minutes. And if you looked at some of those shots that the Aces were taking, some of them were easy layups. There's no excuse. I don't know if
they could do better, because we saw them get so many points at that previous game. I mean, Asia had
40-point game, 40 points.
Yeah.
Well, just their effort before the half, to come back from an 11-point deficit.
Right. They had the lead at the half.
Yeah, and it was exciting there. They were catching up. They were ahead. I mean, it was so exciting.
Yeah, it just turned after the third quarter.
I think they're somewhat intimidated. The girls on the Liberty are tall. They're
just big girls,
and they're a little rough.
And I don't think the refs helped. I mean, the crowd was chanting, about the refs, but I mean.
But that's still not an excuse.
It's part of the game. You kind of have to just deal with the refs no matter what you get, which is unfortunate. Yeah, there was some bad calls.
I think there were at least 20 shots that were, easy shots that should have been made, that they make on a normal day with their eyes closed, that no excuse. The refs did. I think probably one of the turns of the game was, I think Asia was going inside for a basket, and she made the basket, but then the whistle had been blown, so they took the basket away. I can't remember if that was late in the third or early in the fourth. Yeah, you know what I mean. She pushed hard to get that basket, and then it was taken away. If that basket had counted and she had gotten the foul shot, that might have turned the game around a little bit. but it kind of
I think it all affected her. I mean, we saw Asia Wilson having 2 9-point games back to back with the Liberty, which is unheard of. She's getting double, triple team, but they're not finding the outlets to pass out the ball. There's no answer. Here's a guy. I always
and then
felt
they got
like
a girl that came off the bench that was shooting threes. Who's that girl?
Yeah, MJ. That girl.
MJ, like, who is that?
17 points off the bench.
Right, off the bench.
So
Do you ladies think that our aces are spent? Because they do play long minutes, even when we're ahead of the game. And Becky doesn't rest them. And we get into a situation and a culture with even the NBA where these players will have stellar records, winning seasons, and can't make it to the promised land when it comes to championship time because they're spent.
Yeah,
do you think the ladies?
Kayla George had the hot hand the other night. I don't know why she wasn't put in last night.
3 points. She had 3 threes the other night.
I think they needed the threes. I think everybody on Liberty could shoot threes. I mean, they were just everywhere.
Maybe it's bringing in the B team when not waiting till they're that tired, So
I feel like she was subbing. I feel like she was subbing them in for rest. But I feel like on the other games when we're up by 10 or 15 or 20, that's when she needs to let them sit and try and
that's
get
what
that
I
time
was saying.
to
When they're
rest.
up big leads, and even then, even when they're not in big leads, rotate your bench, rest your players.
Yeah, they are going to burn out.
One that likes to fight with coach and not want to sit on the bench. She wants to pad her stats and get these accolades, but coach has got to put her foot down and just be, listen, we got a long ways to go. And down the stretch, what's that going to look like? We can't have the best record in the league and then we're not able to win a championship either.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's what happens with NBA players. And they have, granted, they have more games than us, but our games, the way it's so impactful and the multitude of games, you're saying 5 home game stretch we're in right now, that can be taxing.
Yeah,
if you don't rest,
especially only a day off in between. They only have 1 day off in between games.
1 day off, and so that's going to be taxing to these girls.
Well,
I need more than that after going to the gym. So
at least you go to the gym, Sue.
One thing that I think crop top season is okay for you. I feel like you are kind of
you might have us beat Sue.
Talk to me next year.
I think one thing that does play a big point in this picture, though, is that the preseason with the immediate second game with the New York in the beginning of the season, they had just gotten 3 new players that hadn't worked together. John Quell, Stewie, you had Sloot. One of the players hadn't even got there. I think Sloot wasn't even there yet for the first game. So you have players that hadn't had time to even get connected and find their ability to be play as a team. And then you're seeing this team now, which I think John Quell had been injured for a little bit. She's been playing. I think they've won like 6 out of 7 last 7 games or something like that. You still have people on the bench, like
that's what I'm saying. That MJ chick, she came out of nowhere. Who is that? I was like, wait, where's she come from?
All I can say is that I think it's Elena Coates, so a girl from South Carolina that had played with Asia before. She got her 3rd 7-day emergency contract. I'm hoping that this means that get her in there. She's a big body. We need a big body, get somebody in there. At least she had 1 rebound in the 2 minutes she was in the last 2 minutes. But other than that,
I think she's 6'4", like
I believe
Asia.
so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I look up the stats.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good. Sue's in it. She's looking at the roster. She's looking at box scores. She's checking it out.
I just make up my own box score. No.
Well, I think you're right, though. One of those people are going to get hot off the team, that Becky puts in, and then they should leave them in for a bit. It's like,
absolutely. She's got to figure out how to do that.
So,
I mean, unlike the last New York game, at least the rest of the team did fairly. I mean, everybody had 12 or 11 points. They had broken some ground. The rest of the team had been scoring, but just nobody was dominant in the game. And then Asia just wasn't there, period. So that's what hurts. Like you, Jeri, I kind of I hate losing, even though I'm not playing. I mean, I hate losing, period. So, I'm on Twitter, I'm ranting with people back and forth. I'm upset. And then I see this guy post this, and I was just ready to tear my head off. So remember when Asia had went 2 for 14 last game and only got the 9 points? Well, this guy commented and posted. He kept the receipts. He said, he said that I doubt I'll ever shoot 2 and 4 again. Proceeds to shoot 2 for 10. So
Oh man,
that's awful.
yeah.
It is.
And then another guy was ripping about Kelsey Plum, and I had to screenshot the stats for her for the season because he's like, Kelsey Plum is garbage. You don't even know. Do you even watch the games? And I was like, sir, hello.
Yes, I do.
He doesn't watch the games. He's looking at
Clearly, and he shut up as soon as I screenshotted the actual like her stats and where she falls in line on the team. There was no other reply. So
I don't know why you
I
argue with these 12-year-olds who don't know women's basketball.
I mean, because I had time and I was still mad. And I needed to like vent a little bit. I did stay in a couple posts because I felt like either it's the double teaming or it's just something within Asia's mind. But I feel like they're her kryptonite. Like she has not performed with the Liberty. I'm hoping that changes for tomorrow. I'm hoping something's different. I'm hoping Becky has some new plays.
I hate to say it, ladies, but I think the spirit of Kobe is among them with Sabrina Ionescu.
I know.
And I think when that energy's in there, it's just kind of one of those things. I can't.
Well, I'm just hoping Becky has a plan. She's such a good coach, and you know, you're lucky to have her. So I'm hoping for a plan from Becky.
Right.
Man.
Exactly.
I mean, I think one of Becky's plans is usually, you know, put the shorter ones in and try to, you know, foul the tall
make it a small game.
The small game.
Yeah, make it a small game. That's where she utilized her bench, is like get those bigs that like
but that wasn't working. They weren't getting called.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's it's hard, you know, you're trying to guard Sabrina, but at the same time trying to guard Stewie and Jonquel. And Stewie and Sabrina can shoot from anywhere up to the half court.
Half court, yeah.
We saw that.
You just gotta take it. You just gotta take it.
You can't contest the shots, and it's tough. So I don't know. They are activated,
it's wild.
And they are on a mission. So
yeah.
I
did have a small piece of Becky Hammon's Hall of Fame acceptance speech because she did get her Hall of Fame, her orange jacket. So if you ladies want to stay on for that, you're welcome to. It's just about, I think it's like 50 seconds or something. So here's that.
You're a man of principle and excellence. I know you weren't trying to be courageous when you hired me, but you did do something nobody else in professional sports has ever done. You display excellence, you expect excellence, and model how to become excellent in your everyday routine and how you go about your work. You spoke courage into me with a phone call as I was getting ready to coach that first summer league team in 2015. You said, just be you, you're gonna be great. And you've texted me that. I don't even know if you know how many times you've actually texted me that. Just be you, just be you, just be you. And you've changed the trajectory of my life and of so many other girls and young women. Thank you, I love you.
That was awesome.
I mean, first of all, she was the first female to be an assistant or a coach full-time in any professional sport. And I wanted to also display this too, because this was part of one of our girl powers for the week, is that right now for this 2024 season, we have 8 women that are full-time employees in coaching roles for the NFL, which had not happened prior to all this. I mean, you see all the women that are coaching in football, in basketball, coaching summer leagues, in baseball. We've seen a ton of women in management, and I guess Mo checked out for a sec. We're seeing a ton of women in management roles in baseball and the MLB, and it's something that, you know, just started because, you know, Coach Pop decided he would take a chance. Was going to take a chance on Miss Becky Hammon. So we appreciate him for that. And here we go. Hey, Mo.
I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I get calls that are not on the Do Not Disturb that are
the emergency contacts. Yeah. So
let's hope maybe Becky. Maybe Becky reached out to Pop for some advice on how to handle.
Well, you know, because here's the deal. We thought that it would be hard for her. You know, they had a game Friday. She flies Friday night on a private jet, thanks to Mark Davis, out to Connecticut. Comes back Sunday morning, goes right to a game Sunday, off Monday, game Tuesday, off Wednesday, game Thursday. It's just
it's crazy.
And then a game Saturday again with only Friday off, and then you're on the road. Like it's just. it's got to be tough for the ladies. So
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Taxing
for
for
sure.
sure.
Ladies, thank you. I appreciate you both coming on. We will definitely see you next Saturday, as well as see you in the meantime. But if anybody else out there, again, would like to join us and come see Mo and I MC this great fundraising event to celebrate Women's Equality Day, go online to NevadaNow.org. Yes, and you can go to events, find the event, and purchase tickets there. You can also donate. If you don't live here and you want to celebrate and help women and donate, you can donate online as well. It's a great event. There'll be there's going to be raffles, there's food, there's a photo booth, and of course we got DJ T there to spin some music for us. So we're excited about it.
And some very special guests besides you two.
Yes. And the special guests. We are definitely looking forward to those. Yes.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. And we're really honored that you selected us to MC that very important event. So thank you so much again for having us on.
I think it's the first two people we thought of when we decided to have the event. Like, yes.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. Love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
well, we'll let you guys get back to the rest of your evenings. We'll all say a little prayer tonight for the Aces tomorrow, and then we will see you guys in about a week or so. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. They're so sweet. I love them.
Yeah, the Aces, they got to figure that out for real. And I feel like I said, in that point where we clinched and you said, well, they're trying to be top notch. She needs to rotate her bench better. Get those bench players out.
Or find the right times.
Find the right time. Just put them out there. Let the other team get in foul trouble. Try to D up heavy on them so they can draw contact fouls. Get them in
and a rebound. I don't know how many times I see these girls shooting or women shooting, and they're not. One thing that I was taught from playing basketball as a baby or a kid is you go after your shot. You don't make all your shot. You go after your shot. And half the time everybody's shooting their shot and just running down the court. You're not even realizing that you're not even making half these shots.
Well, it's all about the
their
shooting
percentage
game
and their percentage in that first half or the third quarter was 28% out of field goal percentage. It was terrible. Just horrific.
It
was
pitiful.
Horrific.
It's pitiful.
Oh, Lord.
They got to get together.
For those that are going to the game tomorrow, there is again the red out that the fans are trying to do. So they don't want the red to disappear from the team's jerseys and logos. So they're encouraging all of the fans in attendance to wear all your red to support and to show to the ownership that you guys want to keep it. We'll see how that goes, huh?
Yeah, let's hope that I mean, like I said, I can pop mine with some red lipstick like I do my Raider stuff. They want to keep that energy going,
Yes. Hey, yes. Follow your shot, Maurice. And thanks to everybody else who's been in the comments. It's hard for us to put the comments on when we got a whole screen full of guests. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody that's been coming through on those. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you all. Yeah. So I don't know. I just am hoping for the best tomorrow. Again, it's tough. Of course, most of the fan base had been kind of discouraging of Candace Parker, and now everyone's seeing kind of what the
magnitude of Candace Parker brings to that element, and how she would be much needed in this situation.
Just as a big body, just as another person to help defend, to rebound.
I mean, enough impactful minutes where she just D'd up, her defense was on, and we saw how she can be in the low post doing that. Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to figure it out. You got a player that you signed, you said, that we were talking about, and play her.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. From another Vegas sports news, these guys, the Nevada All-Stars, made it to the Little League World Championships.
Oh, yeah, they sure did.
Teams. Only the second team ever from Nevada to make it.
Yeah.
A's, Golden Knights, Raiders all donated money to help get this team out there. They've been out there. They had their first game today against Rhode Island, which they lost 3-1. But the coach was on the news and he was like, "We're not losing next game. I don't know what you saw today, but you're gonna see something else." They play Saturday, I believe. Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday at 3:00 is their next.
That's what's up.
Make sure you're looking for Mountain Region. They don't say Henderson; it says Mountain Region. They represent the Mountain Region in the Little League World Series. So That's pretty cool. It is cool because they had a story about what these guys get, and like these kids, like they're getting free bats and jerseys and gear, and like it's like being
Very
part of
good.
the finals or a
Very
college
good.
playoff game. So it's great they're getting all this free gear and
All
they're
the
getting
resources they need to help to try to win. Yeah, good.
absolutely.
So can we talk about Max Crosby and Cam Akers? Like, I know we only
Tell me
have a few
about it.
minutes
Talk about
left,
the
but I gotta
Raiders.
go in on this real quick.
No.
You guys fighting in these training camps.
What happened? Because I
and-
didn't see it.
Oh, they came to blows. I mean, fisticuffs was really happening, and you're talking about 5'10" Cam Akers and 6'5" Max Crosby going at it at the practice game. Rams, Raiders, because we are playing.
Oh,
the Rams
they're out there in
preseason
LA
game.
right now.
So we're out there in LA, which is actually a home field for us anyway. So I think that's part of the reason why Max probably felt comfortable enough to do what he did. And it wasn't even anything that was bad. It was just a play action move. Wow. Max is a very aggressive defensive guy. This is not touch football during practice. So if he's going to rush you, he's coming with the full force. And Cam didn't like it. And they just kind of, words were said and then fisticuffs. Cam Akers going back to the locker room and Max out there saying what he says and says, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is who I am.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing is that I feel like there should be some kind of like fines, suspensions for the fights in these things. We saw one that the Jets had one. Today there was one of the Commanders I think had one. The Bucks had one. Like
Commanders had one. Yeah.
Just take it outside when you change out of clothes.
The thing of it is players are legitimately getting hurt before the season even starts. They're sneezing on the field and then they're pulled down the stretcher 5 seconds.
We don't even have time to go over it, but there were 5 new injuries. I think there was 3 new season-ending injuries. One was the Bucks' Russell Gage. There was Browns' Jacob Phillips, and there was another one. I think it was the Eagles had one. Out for the season, and you only have had 1 week of preseason games, and you're out for the season. Like that's
incredible.
First of all, fantasy football this year is going to be insane. I just hope that there's like 5 IR spots. That's all I gotta say.
I just don't want to.
I do not need to share this.
Of course, right now.
Ezekiel Elliott is now with the Patriots, so he's got a little new me. So Zeke now has shedded his locks. I think he's still not going to do well because he's keeping the 300 piercings in his nose, which I think that for me, that's always been the issue why he hasn't done well. Because whenever he adds one more piercing, he continues to do poorly.
I mean, he's playing for a Patriots team that's subpar anyway. Like, what is this really going to be? The only thing that's great about this is he's getting paid some serious cash for 1 year. Okay.
Right.
Have that. It's the Patriots.
And you gotta live out there in New England now.
Who cares?
I don't know, that Boston weather is just not the business for me.
Who even cares? He's lucky he even got picked notice, and it's the Patriots. So yeah,
absolutely.
We didn't think any stellar team was gonna go after him.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely not.
Moving right along. What sneakers you got?
Moving right along. One more thing I got. So, Ohtani still is, they don't know what the deal with Ohtani is going to be, where he may go next season. Of course, he's staying with the Angels this season. Well, there's a Seattle store that is literally selling Ohtani Come to Seattle 17 Seattle Mariners colored t-shirts. You buy one, you get a ticket to the game versus the Angels on September 12th.
Boy, I'm thirsty. Boy, I really wasn't there.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
If the thirst was real was a photo, this would be it.
This would be it. Well, they were like chanting his name when he was there for the last game. Ohtani even mentioned that he goes to Seattle in an off season. He enjoys the city. So they're just trying to cement a deal. They're just trying to say, hey,
and capitalize at the same time and taking poor people's money. And he ain't gonna come. That'll be the messed up part about it.
He said a future Dodger. Yes,
I would love that too. Jonathan, I would love that as well, but
hey, it is what it is.
We can't have them all, can we?
Hey, you can't. Thirst. I get the thirst, but hey, you don't ask, you don't try, right? I mean, why not? Put all the effort you can into it.
Being thirsty. Like,
but if people are buying tickets to go to the game anyways, why not spend that same $30 to get a free T-shirt as well and just go out there? I'd be down with it. I don't know if I'd rock the shirt
Show me
past the
you're
game.
thirsty
But...
without being thirsty. Oh, Tiny, can you come play for our poor little Mariners?
Oh man, one thing that I didn't notice that I saw after the fact, I did notice the green, but I didn't realize. So Sabrina debuted her Duck Sabrina ones at the Commissioner's Cup yesterday.
Boy, those
These
sort
will
of
become,
look a little familiar.
yeah, those Ducks, boy.
They kind of look
Yeah,
Kobe-esque a little.
Kobe-esque. Well, they're Nikes too. You know, speaking of Kobe's, the Kobe Clouds will be coming out on the 23rd. We've also got Terror Squad is having a collection with Nike Air Force for the one. Yes, on the sides it actually says Terror Squad.
You know what? That's all right.
But that was their year. The Air Force's Terror Squad music, like that, it fits.
Come on.
Would I buy them? No, but does it
Big
fit?
Pun
Yes.
would be not approving this whatsoever. I don't know if Fat Joe thought Big Pun came into his sleep and was like, let's put these chairs
get on these.
Yeah,
these are kind of cool. There's a New Balance collab with, I think it's Gani or Johnny. Maybe you can help me out. Ganni.
I like the top one.
Yeah, I like the top ones. Are nice because I think they're one of each color, which is dope. So these New Balances will be out on the 18th. Bad Bunny has his shoes coming out with Adidas. These are called the Boston Day. I feel like it's like a park. I feel like there's fake grass on these or something.
What about the Green Goblin?
Boston Day. These will be out on 8/18. I don't know what the deal is with all the green, but you also have Adidas's Stan Smiths with their Homer Simpson with the faux grass and Homer poking out of it.
Oh, he goes and hides in the grass. I like that.
Yeah, those are on the heel. Yeah, so those will be out
I like that.
on the 18th. Yeah, pretty dope. I think those are
I have
funny.
the Stan Smiths with the navy though, but I had never got the Stan Smith green ones. But those are cool.
I know.
Those are a little different.
Just like I already did one on Girl Power while you were gone, while you were MIA for a little bit.
No, I saw what it was. Though.
Okay.
I saw it because I was looking at my
Yeah, I got a couple more. So of course we've got Cameron Bring, the Stanford women's basketball player. She becomes the first women's basketball player sponsored by New Balance. So good for her. She is now the first female on the New Balance
that's
payroll.
cool.
That's pretty fire. And hey, listen to this. I hope I can have a comeback one day, but Venus Williams just won a match against a top 20 player. Hasn't played in 20 years, and she now is getting a wild card invite for the U.S. Open, which will be her 24th U.S. Open later this month.
Old tail down.
But if you could do it, why not do it? It's not like she's dragging on retirement. She just said, let me pop back in and see if I can hang with the young girls real quick. She just beat a top 20er. I mean, I'm not saying she's gonna win the Open, but dang, like
why do we set ourselves up to look like stupid fools when we advance on to some other things? And it's great. It's great to know that your skill set is still a match to some of the young people out there. I'm not even knocking that. I'm not trying to hate, but if you don't go somewhere and let these,
you don't want that to be. You don't want her like losing bad and that being the last like notion that people have of Venus.
We've seen this play out so many times before. Can we let the young? Step aside. We know you're great.
Said Venus can do what she wants.
Yeah, a lot of people say Venus can do what she wants. That's fine. Go sit there right there and say you can do what you want to. And I have to give it up. I was going to send you this video and shout out to this woman. And speaking of that, I'm never giving up. It's a 40-year-old woman who wanted to skateboard with her son. She skates with the sari, and she is killing it. She is out there on that ramp. So, not
even on the ramp. She's at the skate parks with her son, like doing the big dips in the pool style ramp. She was doing it all.
She's doing all of that. Like, and she's doing it in her culture with the sari on. Like, she's like the sari skateboarder. I mean, check her out. And she's 40 years old doing this. So,
I think she was 43. I think she was even older.
Huh?
That's dope. I think she was 43. I think she was even older.
I think she was 40.
I don't know.
But still in our age bracket.
Yeah.
In your age bracket. Sure. But yeah, she totally can. People can totally do what they want as long as they still got it. I just don't want her. I don't want Venus to set herself up for her sister an embarrassing match type situation. But the fact that she still was able to show her skill set and prove that she had
and beat a top 20 player, like that's pretty legit. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
It's Venus Williams. I don't know.
It's just the name. The name
I just feel
itself
like
is going to help bring.
maybe at this point now, since pickleball is so popular, I'm not trying to say her switch over,
Oh, the
but I'm
pickleball
curious to see her
thing.
go into the pickleball arena, just to see
You
how
see,
that
they're
works.
building a new pickleball thing out there in Southwest Vegas. Pickle
Yeah, I
something.
saw that.
I forgot what it's called. I
And
don't
did you
know.
know that in downtown Las Vegas at the plaza, the rooftop pool and stuff has a pickleball court with the mural?
Really?
Yeah. So
Is
you
that
go to
where?
the plaza at the rooftop
Yeah.
and they have a
Yeah.
pickleball court there.
Wow. Wow. Maurice, let me look it up I'm gonna look it up for you right now just so you have it, because I know Mo sent it to me. I
I
just
sent
gotta
it to you on
find it.
Insta. It was
I know,
sorry.
I'm looking. Okay. The mom, doesn't have her name. It's at Auntie Skates. I believe that's
Auntie
her.
Skates. Yep, that is
Auntie
her.
Skates, AUNTY SKATES.
She got on that board, honey,
So
and is doing the darn thing.
yeah, Auntie Skates. You can go follow her there.
With all her
Ladies and
fears,
gentlemen.
with all her anxieties, with everything.
I
She wants
know
all that.
skateboarding is the last thing that my
Yes,
body
to be
is
motivated to
doing.
skate with her son. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So before we go, again, make sure if you can or able to support, we have a great little fundraiser celebration for Women's Equality Day next Saturday, the 26th, at Bottega Exchange from 4 to 7 p.m. If you're in Las Vegas, you're able to buy a ticket to attend at nevadanow.org, looking for the events and buying a ticket. If you're not here and you want to help support the women's rights and women's campaigns that they have going on, you can donate online as well. Mo and I will be in the building emceeing, so come check us out.
We will.
I'm sure we'll have a few videos and stuff to post as well. But in the meantime, we appreciate you. We'll catch y'all next week, and let's hope these aces can get it together tomorrow.
I'm counting on this one to do the darn thing. I'm
Come
counting on this one to do the
on.
right thing. And I should actually have a picture of this taken and make a shirt out of it with her signature on it. I need her to do the right thing.
You should.
Come on, ladies.
All right, y'all. We appreciate
All right,
you.
till next
We'll catch you
time.
next week. Bye.